Alright, let's do this. Part 2 to Shadow of the Colossus. Part 2 of the Shadow of the Colossus playthrough of how to defeat each and every goddamn Colossi in this game. And honestly, from this point forward, I believe that the first 8 that we experienced were kind of easy. And now we're dealing with some of the more harder bosses of this game. If you haven't seen the first part, it'll be up here somewhere, so I feel, yeah, up there somewhere. Alright, let's get into it. Colossus number 9. This is our first turtle Colossus. It's taken place in the middle of a geyser field, so the Colossi is in a cave when you first meet it, so your goal is to lead it from the cave toward one of the geysers. Pretty simple. All you have to do is just avoid all of the blasts that it's gonna start shooting at you from its mouth. Just keep shooting a bunch of arrows, forcing it to come your way. Once it's over a geyser, the geyser will eventually go off, forcing the Colossi to tip over. If it doesn't tip over automatically, it does have glowing feet, so you can use your arrows, shoot at 2 glowing feet on the same side. So if it's tilting to the left, shoot the 2 feet on the left. If it's tilting to the right, shoot the 2 feet on the right. Pretty self-explanatory. Once you're done with that, you're gonna go on the other side that it tipped over, and there'll be a few jump up ledges that you can hold on to from that point on. Climb your way up through the stomach where we'll have fur, all the way to the very top. It will eventually tip over, wait for it to tip, and then you can finally make your way to its back. Its activator sigil is on its head, and there's only one, so you don't have to worry about doing anything else. Once you've taken out that activator sigil on its head, you're pretty much done at that point. Once you fall off, if you do fall off, you're just gonna have to wait for another geyser to tip it over. And remember, feet, glowing feet, shoot them, it will tip. Colossus number 10. This is honestly, this is where we finally have to use aggro. And the Colossi is sound activated, so it follows after footsteps. Your goal is to basically just ride aggro around the arena and keep pointing your arrow behind you. So this is where it gets very annoying, because you're now going to have to trust aggro to not just run into a wall or out of the arena, because it can happen. Your goal is to have the Colossi follow you, and your job is to just shoot it in its eye. Easier said than done. Once you've shot in its eye, it will run into a wall, and its back will then be revealed. Your job, ride aggro up to its back, jump onto its back, and the sigil is just right there in the center of its back. There's only one sigil, but it'll take you 2 times to finally take it down. So once you've done it once, the Colossi will eventually sink back into the sand, and you're gonna have to ride aggro all over again to defeat it. Kind of annoying. Aggro is not he's our loyal steed, but he very much likes running into walls, which is quite annoying. Next up, we have Colossi number 11. I hate this stupid thing. And this is where we start to see where I don't think they fully understood that trial and error is supposed to be a thing in this game. When you enter the arena for this cat bull thing, you will notice that there are 4 lamps running along the wall. Your job is to jump into the arena and not get knocked over and ran over by this cat, because it will knock you over and it will trample you to death. Run up to one of these lamps, climb up the lamp, and just wait. Eventually, we'll just call it a cat. So yeah, you're just gonna wait on top of the lamp. Eventually, the bull will run into the lamp, dropping a torch onto the ground. Your job, jump back onto the ground, avoid any pouncing and trampling that comes your way, climb back up the pillar, and ignite the torch. The bull doesn't like fire, so all you have to do is just jump down and then lead it the opposite direction of where you first entered the arena. There'll be 4 large pillars running up into a nice lighted area. Lead the cat or lead the bull out of the arena, and all you have to do is just lead to the very end. It will eventually fall off because it's a cliff, and falling off will reveal the sigil on its back. It'll break its armor, revealing the sigil. Your job, jump down. Hope that you land on the back. This is where leap of faith start coming into the game. Hope you land on the back. If you do not land on its back, you're just gonna have to lead it back into the arena. There's a nice little path that leads all the way back. Jump into the arena, grab onto one of the lampposts again, and just climb onto the back, and then just start stabbing away. If the Colossi is refusing to stay still, all you have to do, let go of the bull, jump back up onto the lamp, and then just start, wait for it to run into the lamp again, where it will stun itself, and then that'll give you time to just start doing your thing. It's actually not difficult to beat. It's just, I don't know how you would ever know to jump onto the lamp and then hope that a torch is gonna fall down. You're pretty much just gonna hope that something happens along the way. It's kind of frustrating, it's kind of annoying, and I definitely had to look up a guide when I first played this game. Next up, we have Colossi number 12. This is the bull in the lake. And well, I now understand the saying insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting different results is just insanity, because this thing is just straight insanity. Your job is you're going to be spawning in the middle of the lake. Your job is to swim around the Colossi. It will not hurt you. Don't worry about that. Climb up onto its back and then make your way towards its head.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
You'll just be following the moss along its back until you get to the head. Once you're on the head, you'll have a bunch of teeth, like, around the head. I'm assuming, like, the Colossi had, like, very bad dental issues. Take your sword out and start bashing the teeth in the direction of one of the towers in the middle of the lake. Your job is to just guide it towards the tower. Once it's made it to a tower, you have to make a leap of faith, because this Colossi is going to try and throw you off. Jump onto the tower and then just hide behind the pillar on top of the tower. Wait it out, it will shoot a couple of laser beams at you, and then it will eventually rear its front legs up and just stand on top of the tower with you. Running around will reveal moss on its stomach, and the sigil will then be activated if you have your sword out. Jump onto the stomach, stab away. It'll take you 2 times to do this, and I think the most annoying part of this is just the fact that you have to make a leap of faith onto the tower, because Jesus, I had to do that so many times. Oh my god, I just felt like quitting at the very end of it. Number 13. This is the second cat bull thing. Once you enter the arena, make your way to the very front of the arena. The cat will burst out of a wall, and your job is to just use the fallen pillars around you and the arches to make your way from the cat to the tallest tower in the land. To do this, you're going to have to climb up the ledges until you get to the taller ledges in the area. There's about 5 of them that you're going to have to climb up on, but you're going to make your way to the first one, closest to you, and just wait on the very top. You're going to shoot a bunch of arrows at the bull, and it's going to headbutt the tower twice. Doing this will collapse the tower. Your job is to just either make a quick jump onto the next tower, or if you don't make the jump, climb back up onto the same tower that just collapsed, and just climb up the second tower. Do this a bunch of times, keep shooting the arrows, keep having the bull headbutt it twice, and you'll eventually make your way to the taller tower. Then, you're going to make your way onto the tallest tower, and then climb to the far side, jumping onto the last tower in the arena. Force the bull to attack it twice, it'll eventually collapse, but this time it will activate a cutscene, destroying a wall into the next room. This is where it starts to get a little bit tricky, because your first instinct is to jump through a small gap in the wall. This is how you first enter the arena, but this is not what you're gonna do. You're gonna notice a broken ledge, a part of the building. Your job is to just climb up from a collapsed area on top of the ledge, and then you're gonna climb up even further onto what looks like a plant pot or a collapsed tower. I'm not really too sure. You're just gonna get to the highest point in the room of where the wall had originally collapsed. Once you're on top, shoot the bull twice, and then it'll headbutt the collapsed ledge and then even collapse it even more. This will collapse on top of the bull, breaking its armor. This is when you can finally jump on top of the cap and start stabbing away. Same thing as the first bull. You have to, eventually it's going to get tired of you and not want you on its back, so it's going to just keep trying to shake you off, and you're not going to get any chance to just swing your sword. So you're just going to hop off the bull and then climb onto another ledge, shooting the bull, forcing it to ram its head into the ledge, and you know, it's kind of stupid, so it's just gonna stun itself, probably knocking you back, but it'll give you enough time to get up, climb onto its back, and then stab away. It'll take about 5 to 6 hits to completely get it down, but it's pretty much one of the easier ones, and you're not gonna need a guide for this really too much, but you know, that's what I'm here for. Next up, we have Colossi number 14, and this is when it starts to get really, really annoying. And okay, this is when we know when aggro is just the worst horse ever. And I don't blame aggro. If we were able to control aggro and have a decent camera while running, no, the game forces us to just trust aggro to not run into a bunch of these random towers and pillars and stones in the middle of the arena and then just stopping itself, forcing you to just gain control of aggro, forcing you to just be more assertive and noticing your surroundings while looking up into the sky. Meanwhile, the camera wants to force you into the ground, and I'm just like, I hate this. Okay. As you're running around this arena, and as you're trying to get aggro to run in the right direction, as you're trying to shoot the Colossi is flying in the air, and it will have 3 air sacs underneath it. That's what I'm assuming keeps it afloat, because it doesn't have any real wings for something that massive. So your job is to just ride aggro around, shoot down the sacks. There are 3 of them, so you're gonna have to shoot down each 3. You don't have to do them in any order, just as long as you get all 3 down. Eventually the Colossi will eventually try, not land, but it'll have enough air to stay afloat, but it will come down, allowing you to jump onto its wings. Your job is now to just ride aggro along the wings and just hope to God that the camera is in the right direction as you're trying to get onto this wing, and hoping that you're at the right speed to match it, so that you're making this really big leap of faith. Because I swear to God, eventually the Colossi is not going to wait around for you to just climb on. It'll eventually go into the air, and oh God, you're going to have to do this a bunch of times, and oh my God, I hate it. Okay, but fine, whatever. You do make the leap of faith. You do jump onto its wing. Now, once you're on the wing, all you have to do is just wait for it to gain some air, go back into the sky, and then you just have to run along the wing until you're onto its back. This is where it starts to get really annoying, because now, when you're on its back, there are 3 sigils that you have to take out. Each 3 sigils, super easy to do. They're located right above each air sac, and there'll be flaps along above them, so you'll notice each one that you have to do. And once you've taken out a sigil, the flap will come down, so you won't have to think about where you have to go next time. But what's really annoying is that once you take down the sigil, you're gonna have to redo the whole thing all over again. That was number 14. Number 15. We're almost there. We're almost done. Hey, we're almost done to the first Colossi. Remember the first Colossi Well, he's even bigger, it's even badder, and it now has a giant axe.
That's what she said.
Well, defeating it is kind of the same. You're gonna have to go on its head to do it, but I do not understand how you do something like this without a guide. I do not understand, because there's literally nothing telling you what your first step has to be, because it's literally, if you're gonna have to do this through you just experimenting and figuring it out on your own, you're gonna just spend 30 minutes just wondering why nothing is working, okay? Your job, and I'm not even gonna try and figure out where it is by just explaining it to you, Evie, show it. This ledge right here. Stand here. There's 4 of them around the map. They look exactly the same. Stand here and just wait. The Colossi will eventually come up to you and it'll do a bunch of swings, leading you to think that maybe this isn't the right spot, but no, just keep standing there. Eventually the Colossi will come up and slam its foot into the ledge, forcing the ledge upwards, allowing you to climb onto the first platform that you have to get onto. Self-explanatory, right? No, because there's literally nothing telling you that this is where you need to stand in this stupid game. Oh god. Now you're onto the first ledge. Now you're thinking, okay, there's a stairway at the very end of the ledge. Maybe that's the right way. No. You have to now stand in the nice little archway that the ledge gives you, allowing the Colossi to look at you. The Colossi is not going to get mad at you, though. He honestly doesn't really care that you're around here at this point in time. Your goal, shoot the arrow into the Colossi. It will eventually start to get angry and it'll do a bunch of stompy stomps, and then it will start to swing at you. The swing is what you're waiting for. It's gonna swing at you, it's gonna knock into the pillars, leading the ceiling to collapse. And this is what you're waiting for. Once the ceiling collapses, it gives you a nice little foothold to climb up into the second platform that you need to be on. Once you're up onto the third platform, all you need to do is, if you're either on the left of the... Actually, no. Self-explanatory. Once you're up onto the very last platform, as far as you can go, you're gonna look for the nearest archway that's hanging over the arena. Your goal is just to stand very close to the original platform as possible. Shoot a bunch of arrows at it. Eventually the Colossi will come over and it'll swing, destroying the arch. This is what you want. You're just gonna wait for the Colossi to get a little bit bored, because it's not gonna know any better and just stand there for a few seconds. Your job is to just make a really big leap of faith. It's actually not that bad, but if you do miss, you're gonna have to start the whole standing on the specific platform and waiting for the stompy stomp and then climbing all your way back up again. Make your leap of faith, jump on top of the Colossus head where the first sigil is located. It's right on top of the head. Swing away. It's gonna take it down to 3/4 health. Your job is then to climb down the arm that's holding the axe. Climb down the arm, and right around the elbow area will be an activator sigil. Take out the activator sigil, which will cause the Colossi to basically drop its axe in pain. Didn't know these things felt pain, but whatever. I mean, they probably do feel pain, but it's gonna drop the axe in pain. You're then... The final sigil is in the palm of its hands, of the axe that dropped it. Next up is Colossi number 16, and
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
everything that was wrong with this game before, except for aggro, we do not have to deal with aggro here. Aggro is left behind at the very beginning of the way to get towards this Colossi. And mind you, getting towards this Colossi is a piece of cake. Just follow the ledges, follow the footholds, follow the path until you get to the Colossi, and then a cutscene will activate, and there will be just this massive behemoth of a Colossi, bigger than all the other Colossi in this game put together. I might be exaggerating a little bit there, but honestly, it's pretty freaking big. Your goal, and you're gonna feel like all you have to do is just run up the very steps that is underneath the Colossi's legs, but that is the biggest red herring in this goddamn game. Absolutely not. Your job is to avoid the death bombs that are coming your way from this stupid thing. And you're gonna notice when you make your way up the first steps that they're to your left. No, that's my right. To your left, my right. To your right, there's gonna be a underground pit area. Your job is just to avoid the death bombs coming your way. They really hurt and they will really knock you back and they will really ruin your time. So try and avoid them as best as possible by just hiding behind a bunch of pillars or nice little alcoves that the game has given you. Just avoid them at all costs. Because oh my god, that's where the game starts to become very difficult. Alright, cool. You've made it into the underground alcove. There's about 3 of them that you have to get through, just avoiding them, avoiding the Colossi. Avoid every red herring because walking up those steps is immediate death. Do not do it. Just keep following the underground alcove areas until you make it underneath the Colossi itself. There's a nice, lovely underground area that comes right up the Colossi between its legs. And this is your first and only checkpoint from this point forward. The rest of this is just you persevering and hoping to God that you know how to platform like a god. Because the camera is working against you, the footholds are working against you, the game is working against you, the leap of faiths make no goddamn sense, and everything just wants you dead. Cool, whatever. Simple enough. Make your way from the back of the Colossi. From where you first enter the Colossi, you will be greeted with a nice little skirt hanging down to the ground. It's a very simple handhold. Just climb up the skirt and then just make your way to the top of the Colossi. Once you're at the very top, as far as you can go, it's quite tedious and you might fall a bunch of times, and god damn it if they didn't put a... Why did they not put a checkpoint in this stupid game when you went to the midway point? Because everything after this point is just you guessing and hoping to God that these are the right actions that you have to make. And the game gives you a lovely little passive-aggressive hint of just saying, hey, the actions of the Colossi lead the way. Oh, well, why, thank you, game. I appreciate that. Oh my. Okay, cool. Whatever. You made it to the midway point of the Colossi. There is no checkpoint. Remember that. If you fall here, you're gonna have to make your way back to this point. And that in itself is annoying to all hell. But whatever. Fine. It's not that bad if you're doing it like maybe 10, 15, 20, 100 times. You start questioning, like, why are you even doing this out to that point? But okay, fine. You're at the midway section. There's an activator sigil on its back. Make your way around to the back. It'll be on its fur. Climb onto its fur. Stab away. Do it once. No more damage will happen after it. This will cause the Colossi to reach around its back, where you will have to make a leap of faith into its hand. Cool, whatever. You're in its hand. Next, the next activator sigil is on the same hand that it's holding you, but right around here on its elbow, or on the inside of its elbow. What is this called? I don't really know. But as it's swinging you around, forcing you, trying to knock you off, having you hope that its stamina bar will run out, there is a nice little time when you're right around here on its arm, when it's about like this, holding you like this. It'll just look at you for a second. That'll give you enough time to regain almost all of your stamina on normal difficulty. Cannot tell you what happens on harder difficulty, because I refuse to play this game on hard difficulty. You've somehow crawled your way up the arm to this area, where there's another activator sigil that does no damage. Mind you, there is no checkpoint up until this point. So if you fall all the way to the bottom, you will not take fall damage. But you will have to climb your way all the way back to this point. Good luck, have fun. From here, you're gonna stab the activator sigil, causing the Colossi to basically do a cupping motion like this, where you're gonna have to make another leap of faith into its palm. Don't tell me how many times I had to do this. I just had to do this. And then, something the game doesn't tell you is that when the Colossi is holding you like this, it's not going to try and swing you off, but you're now going to have to stand here. There is no activator sigil. You're just going to have to make a stab into its palm, forcing the Colossi to basically do a "why did you stab me" look. That will cause it to, you'll stab it again, and it'll basically go like a this motion, where you'll then have to do another leap of faith onto its shoulder. From here, it gets a little bit simpler. It gets just a little bit simpler, because then the activator sigil is on its head. Why? Why even do this, man? Why even do this? Why? 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 The first proper sigil is now on its head. Cool. Whatever. Once you're on its head, the next... Wait, is it just on the head? Once you're on top of the head, cool. Good job. You're basically gonna have like a nice little foothold on its back where it's not gonna be able to shake you off, so you're able to use the sword to look for the next sigil. Go ahead, look for the next sigil. From here, it's kind of self-explanatory to get to the next one. There's just I think there's one more leap of faith onto its other arm, because you have to make your way from this arm up on top of its head to the other arm. This game has just so much going for it. And I feel like if they were to redo it again and give like better controls, better camera, better aggro, better everything, it would just make this game a lot more fun. But as it is right now, no. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button.